Welcome to episode 5 of the Nintendo Newscast. This week's guest is Jason Grier. Introducing your hosts, Lauren and Amiibo Jason.
Aloha, Amiibo and Nintendo fans.
Alola.
Aloha. Welcome to episode 5 of the Toys for Games cast. Welcome to episode 5 of the Nintendo Newscast. I am your host, one of your hosts. You might know me as the Toys for Games Patreon $5 Patreon.
Pin level. That's pin level.
I get a pin. I'm Amiibo Jason. How's it going? I'm here as always with my co-host, my number 2, my partner in crime, Lauren, also known as, what do they call you?
Happily Candied.
Happily Candied.
And why the heck am I number 2? Why did I get bumped? Oh, is it because of our other guest here today?
We do have another guest who does go by a number as well.
Yes.
So you might notice we have another Jason here tonight. We have Jason number 1. You might know him as from the Toys for Games cast, but here he is always known as Jason number 2. Jason Grier, how's it going?
Good evening. How are we doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
More or less
Good.
pretty good. It's been a long day, so I think that might come off at some point during this cast.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
Yes,
and
come on.
Not for good week for reasons for me, but
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
that.
We'll get into that later.
I do like how you're wearing the Smash Supremacy t-shirt
Me too.
tonight.
Well, I was trying to figure out what to wear tonight, and I don't know if I actually have like a Pokemon t-shirt. I have I don't know if I do. I had a Pokemon baseball cap that one of our followers sent me, and I couldn't find it. I don't know where I put it. So I was like, you know what? I haven't worn my Smash Supremacy shirt on the show yet, so I'm going to wear that. Which do you know the story on this shirt?
No.
Well, we have one too.
Right. But, like, is there an
I don't know the
story
specific story.
There's a story for this shirt, like the one I'm wearing, because I knew you got one, because I think you posted, I knew Josh got one, and then I got a thing in the mail that said, like, postage required to get delivered. Like, I owed like $1.20 in postage. I'm like, for what? I haven't shipped anything. And so I'm sitting there and like, I kind of ignored it because I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it came back like a week later and it said from like TJ or something like that. I'm like, what the heck? So I got it. The guy like put the wrong postage on it, so he made me pay for the extra postage on it. So that's what. So the big joke has been that. So I'm still going to debate about sending him a coconut and saying like postage due later and make him pay for the postage, and then he's just going to get a coconut in the mail. But
Coconut.
I like that idea.
I like that. I love the
dude, I don't know if you know that you can just mail a coconut. You know, you put it in a box, slap a label on it, write the address on the coconut, and put it.
I remember like 6-7 months ago, I saw on your Twitter feeds it was like this big whole coconut thing, and I was super disappointed because everybody was getting coconuts, and I checked my mailbox every day, and I had no coconuts.
Oh, that's so sad. I'll make it happen.
Make it happen, please.
Coconuts all
send me a coconut.
So, while we're off topic too, but this is the Toys for Games way. We just get off topic all the time. I almost mailed you a prank recently.
What is?
Well, I didn't do it because I ended up not being able to. But my suitcases are just beat to crap. Like I need new ones. So we ended up. I had to pack a large suitcase for all the giveaways we had from Boston for PAX East, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the suitcase because I either had to check like an empty suitcase back on the plane, something. So what I ended up doing is like putting my suitcase inside that suitcase and checking that. But what I was going to do was change out the tag on the suitcase and put your address on it and leave it in the hotel, like in my room, like I forgot it, knowing the hotel would call me and be like, oh yeah, you can send it to the address it's on. And then you're just going to get mailed like an empty suitcase and not have any reason why.
They would have totally charged you for that.
I don't care. It's hilarious. There's no budget for pranks. There's no budget for pranks.
I like that way of thinking.
I forgot my copy of Pokemon X in the hotel room in New York when we went to the Nintendo World Store. They wanted $30 to ship back my 3DS card.
No. I didn't even
$30.
realize that you checked back and asked them about it.
I sacrificed all of my Pokemons because I wasn't going to pay it.
Pay the $30. So in other words, your Pokemon are not worth $30.
No.
Oh!
This is not appropriate for this specific episode.
It was mostly, I was egg hunting at that point.
Oh.
So I was trying to get a shiny Porygon, and I had like 500 or 600 eggs. So that's all I was doing anyway at that point.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we have a few interesting topics to talk about. It was a bittersweet week. For us, we had Pokemon news, and for you, we had Pokemon news. So, that might be able to help with the burden of the other news, which is Disney Infinity closing its doors, shutting up shop.
Yep.
Huge surprise came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're going to let you do a majority of that talking on that topic tonight.
You are the expert. You are the biggest Disney Infinity fan that we know. So please, the floor is yours.
But since you're our guest, would you prefer to talk about the depressing stuff first or last?
Oh, yeah.
We'll save it to the end because
really?
I like talking about exciting stuff first, and then this is like I like talking about exciting stuff, then talk about depressing stuff, and then the end it was something exciting. You gotta do the way.
Got a little sandwich in there.
That's right.
All right, folks. Let's move into our primetime topic tonight, and that is the Pokémon Sun and Moon gigantic news day that we had a few days ago. There's a few things I want to touch on this before we start talking about what happened during that video that got released. It was essentially I like to call it the first real trailer that we got. I'm super disappointed with the way Nintendo is hyping this kind of thing up.
Yeah.
It didn't seem right to me. What was it, a Tuesday morning?
Yep.
Yeah. It was a Tuesday morning
at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. No fanfare. This should have been a direct. This should have been let's get hyped. And I feel like Nintendo is kind of pulling back, dialing down on that just a bit. It was weird having to set my alarm for 6:30 and getting up and just sitting in front of my computer, refreshing a screen, and that was it. So I really wish that they had more fanfare behind it.
And it is weird. The default, most stuff happens at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, a.m. Eastern Time. That's press release heavy time. So I don't know what time that was in Japan, but this, and obviously the Splatoon Amiibo we got, they're just weirdly just throwing out announcements every time.
Yeah.
And even before, we didn't really know what this was, and I don't think did the English Nintendo or Pokemon channels even talk about anything? It was just the teasers we got.
They didn't say they were going to do it. They actually posted it 30 seconds before the Japanese site did. But yeah, they didn't. There was no anything. There was nothing on the Pokemon Twitter account, nothing on the Nintendo of America Twitter account. I could not believe it. Yeah,
that's why I was trying to stay underhyped, because I was like, all right. We might get the starters. We got more than I thought we were going to.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because again, I was trying to underhype with it. But yeah, it seems so weird. Again, with E3, obviously we know they're focusing on Zelda and stuff, but obviously they didn't have enough for a full direct, but they could have had something special for this.
But here we are. It was 9 o'clock, by the way, 9 p.m. in Japan. So I guess they wanted to make it so that everybody was sort of up.
Right.
A little bit more hype would have been fun. Something with Reggie, something with the official Twitter accounts, maybe a direct. But I guess it is what it is. I guess Nintendo's kind of dialing back on that a bit since Iwata. So
what's the harm in even saying just tweeting out saying box art and starters revealed tomorrow? It's not even that simple wasn't really ruining, because again, we weren't surprised to see those once we actually saw they're actually giving us stuff. Yeah. So you could at least said that, and everybody went on the friggin' hype train with Thomas and Tankish and everything.
I was super hesitant to do anything with the news because the last time we did
got burned hard.
We made everybody watch this cooking show with Pokemon, and absolutely nothing happened. That was a disaster. It was so bad.
That was so good.
It was a fun day. But here we are. We do have information on Pokemon Sun and Moon. We have all 3 starters. We have our first look at the legendary Pokemon, even though we don't necessarily have their names, even though I think somebody found some trademarks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That said what the bat's name was, at least. I don't know if we have any information on the lion. But yeah, we have that. We have the region. We have what the professor's name is. We can see some of the customizations that you can have for your trainer. We have kind of a brief idea of what the story is. So, but yeah, we definitely got a lot more than I thought we were going to.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
So let's talk about the starters first, because that's, I think, where everybody wants to kind of kick off anyway. So we have, Rowlet?
Yeah.
So Rowlet's my favorite by far. It's the cutest little owl by far.
Hashtag apple face.
Apple face, it does have an apple face.
It has. It looks like it's one of those once someone pointed out to me, I don't see anything else. It looks like someone took a bite out of an apple and it has the seeds in there in the core.
Oh, I see that now.
So it's
so cute.
It has a general type of barn owl look, though. Barn owls are one of my favorite animals in the world. The
It would be like a C or a B for me if it didn't have the bow tie. The bow tie puts it up and above.
Totally. And in fact, when we first reported on all 3 starters, the article that was describing Rowlet was talking about how fantastic he was specifically because of the bow tie. It boosted him up for his awesomeness above the other 2. And I had to agree with that. I love that little extra.
He's a mini Blathers. Blathers has a green bow tie.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I wonder if that was purposely done or if that's just a happy coincidence.
There's going to be over 800 Pokemon now after this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many? Yeah. What are we at right now? Like 770 something?
Something like that with the recent one.
It's obscene. So I think they're kind of running out of ideas. Okay, how many owls do we have at this point? I know we have Noctowl. Do we have any others?
I think there's one other. For some reason I'm thinking of 2.
So I feel like they had to put the bow tie on it.
Yeah.
Just to make it kind of distinct.
I was going to say set it apart from the other 2.
But he's so cute.
He is.
Oh my god, he's
adorable.
So cute.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, I am all about that owl. I have to know. I have to know more about this owl. One of my favorite things that I saw online that day was somebody immediately made a Rowlet plush, and they put it on DeviantArt. I want that thing so badly. As far as I know, the creator was not selling it, but I'm hoping that pops up on Etsy because I want to buy that so badly.
Oh, you'll have plenty of opportunities to buy like official stuff. Very soon.
Believe it or not, sometimes the custom work is even better than the official stuff.
No, I agree.
The custom work adds this extra ounce of cuteness to characters like Rowlet.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I don't know if it was a NeoGAF thread or where it was, but someone was talking about within 24 hours how much like Pokemon artistic stuff was already out, whether it's paintings or plushes or stuff. And like people were saying, like it's just crazy. And I think it does dive some into like the art style for it. Not that it's like easy to draw that, but it's not like it's some kind of 3D computer generated thing that they have to dive back into like some kind of painting style. It's already ready to go, in that allow you to do whatever. And it already has personality and stuff with it. But it's like some of the stuff I'm like, they had to have known, like they had to pre-render stuff and then quickly draw the rest of the Pokemon in for like how quick stuff was coming out.
Yeah, no, crazy. Really.
People are insane though. I mean, people can put I follow probably about 25 or 30 different like artists on Twitter, like digital artists, and it's amazing the kind of thing they can get done very quickly. So
yeah.
You were saying something, by the way. I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
No.
Oh, great. If you remember, let me know.
Okay.
So we know that Rowlet is a grass quill Pokemon. He is 1 feet. I mean, he's very, very small. He's 3.3 pounds. He's the lightest starter to date, by the way. So that's kind of an interesting little fun fact. My favorite part is he's grass flying, which I think is an awesome combo. Almost unstoppable, in my humble opinion. So, and then he has the ability Overgrow, which I'm not even sure what that is.
It sounds like something brand new that we're going to see. So.
Could be.
Yeah.
We have 1 attack so far.
One attack, yes.
Leafage.
All right. So that's by far the best of the 3. We have Litten, like kitten.
Yep.
Litten.
Litten. Just like him, which I think is a very clever name. It seems very appropriate for this one. And surprisingly, I'm a big cat person, so I thought I'd be more drawn to this one. But I'm also a big owl person too. But cats are the easiest ones you can have pets with, so owls are kind of in that category.
Yeah, I'm on Team Litten.
Boo.
Oh, you are.
I am. See, because what I do for a lot of I was on Litten. Ash, I was like, well, I'll go to Rowlet, and like everybody's going to Rowlet. So I'm like, all right, I'm going back to Litten.
Yeah.
But I think going on to like evolutionary stage 2, stage 3, I think Litten has the highest ceiling. Like I think stage 3 Litten's going to be like insane. Yeah. So
what's it going to be? Is it what do you think the final type's going to be?
I have no idea. I assume like everybody keeps saying it's going to be some kind of dark combo with it. But I just feel like it's going to be something massive and Hoodoo like times 10. Like it's just gonna be awesome looking. Rowlet I think could be like kind of cool. We'll get to the other one a little bit. It's just gonna be a giant clown, but like I think Lynn has most of the gain, so that's what I'm excited about.
Do you tend to lean more towards one type over another when it comes to Pokemon, or do you jump around from game to game?
I literally a lot of it based on what they end up as, just because like that's what I see the most of at the end.
Yeah.
So like I'm like I really like this one, so I'm gonna start with this one. What it really starts down to.
Cool.
So, the dark type's interesting. I read something just recently that the symbol on its forehead combined with its eyes I think they said it's like the Japanese symbol for blaze.
Ah.
So I'd be curious to see as it evolves if like the symbol on its forehead is going to change in any way, shape. But it does look like kind of an evil-looking Pokemon. So
Right.
It's the eyes, actually. I don't even consider it the symbol. It's the eyes. There's something about the shape of them that makes it look a little bit more menacing for something so cute.
Yeah.
Especially something named Litten.
Yeah. It screams sass, and I appreciate that. Like, it doesn't look like it's going to mess around with anybody.
But then you have that from the Japanese trailer. There's a scene where the kid is like picking him up, like above his head. Like, I love you so much. It's the cutest thing ever. So, but I don't know.
I appreciate the fire ability, like how it's like they gave some kind of rationale for how it's creating the fire from like the fur of itself. Like that's a cool concept.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's Litten. Litten is a fire cat Pokemon. He is 1 foot 4 inches, 9.5 pounds, fire type, and his ability is Blaze. So
I think that's pretty straightforward.
I think so too. Let's move on to everybody's least favorite Pokemon. I put on Twitter that he's always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
True.
Poplio.
Poplio.
He's like, how would I pronounce
It's
that?
a
I'm like,
Poplio.
yeah, I was like, well, it would either be Poplio or Poplio, but I'm guessing it's Poplio.
I would say it's Poplio. That's how I read it.
So, my favorite thing is Poplio's ability is Torrent, which just makes me think he's like an internet pirate.
Oh my god, that's really good.
It would be amazing if he had like Leech Seed, like as one of his abilities too. But yeah, his ability is Torrent. He's water type, 16.5 pounds, 1 foot 4 inches tall, and he's a sea lion Pokemon. The same as Seal, by the way. Seal is the exact same type. He is a sea lion Pokemon as well.
Yeah. Watch Poppy be like this, like one of those people that's like really cute, like out in public, but then like in private, it's like this mean little thing.
People were saying that when it got to its final evolution, it was going to be this really hardcore looking Pokemon. And I thought, well, maybe, because I think all of them, both the other two are offering something, and Poplio really isn't right now. Rowlet has the cute factor. Litten has that little bit of menacing look to it. Yeah. So it feels almost like threatening, but then Poplio is just kind of like hanging out, and he's not really bringing anything to the table right now.
He's okay.
He's a jokester. He looks like a jokester.
He's sort of cute. He's sort of cute. I like how in one of the pieces of art for Poplio is he has this bubble with Owlet. Rowlet. I just want to call him Owlet.
Okay.
And he looks so confused why he's trapped in the bubble.
Yeah. Like, what?
But yeah, I mean, that's our 3 starters. I mean, we did a poll yesterday, and by far, Poplio was the least favorite.
Yeah.
It was almost a tie for Litten and for Rowlet, but Rowlet won.
Yes.
Thank God. He's the best choice.
Totally.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Poplio and Wobbuffet are going to be like BFFs. Like that.
I could see that.
Just strolling through the town. I
could completely see that. So that's what we have for the starters. We have a lot more information just besides that. We know that the region is the Alola region. There's a few things that I noticed in the trailer, by the way. So obviously Alola is based on Hawaii. It looks pretty much exactly like Hawaii. They have the big volcanic crater. Everything just screams Hawaii, which is interesting because everything else has really been based on Japan. And Hawaii and Japan, I think, are probably the two closest. If you want to have a bridge between like Western and Eastern culture, Hawaii is probably the place to do it. Yep. I have a theory, by the way.
Please.
So if you watch the Japanese trailer, you see this kid moving from Japan to Hawaii, which I think is probably going to be exactly what's happening in the game.
Yeah.
My theory is that this kid is moving from Kanto. And he's moving to this new region. Okay. And the reason I say that is because at the very beginning of the Japanese trailer, you see their house and it's full of boxes. But the big tell is they have a Meowth.
Yeah.
So that there's a Meowth like kind of hanging out there. So they have a Kanto region Pokemon with them. So I'm assuming they're in this new region.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be shocked. It would be really cool if there was some sort of like Kanto tie to this game. And they just released all 3 of the red, blue, and yellow on Virtual Console, and they announced that Pokemon Box is going to work with it.
So it really is all connected in some way.
Oh, yeah.
It's just we're not getting a lot of that information right now in the best way. You have to piece it together yourself.
Yeah, very true.
Do you think that it's going to be handed to us eventually by Nintendo, or we're going to have to just kind of like...
Oh, no, we're going to get bits and pieces of this throughout the year, for sure. Just like, it reminds me of X and Y. I remember when the X and Y the second evolutions of the starters came out. They never came out and showed what the final ones were. I think they got leaked before Nintendo could officially announce them. So,
And I was gonna say, do you this is it called the Strange Souvenir? Is that what it's called? That one item that said it was from like a different region. Have you seen that picture?
no, I haven't seen that.
I think it's called. Let me see, souvenir. There was something, and it was a Google image Strange Souvenir. It was from X and Y, I think.
Okay.
And it was on the description. It was an item you got. It says an ornament depicting a Pokemon that is venerated as a protector in some region far from Kalos. And it looks like an Easter Island head kind of thing.
Okay.
But it screams, an island culture. So it looks like they had some kind of Easter egg hidden the whole way back then.
Wow.
So we'll see.
I can't wait to see what we're going to get from this.
Yeah.
So
It's everything else has been kind of fun, but this seems to me, and maybe it's just because it's new, it seems like the most unique we've had in a while. It just feels like it's going to be really fun, a fun place to explore.
I think so too. I loved X and Y.
Especially in the gameplay style, like everything they're showing, like the new camera angles and everything.
Yeah.
It looks really unique.
Yeah.
I mean, it also absolutely, there's so many clues that just scream that you'll be able to use vehicles in the game.
Yeah.
On the official website, you can see tire tracks, like on the official Sun and Moon website, and then in the concept art that we saw in the first sneak peek, you saw like all the trucks, and then the Pokemon, like, working with human beings, like I think there was Blastoise on the back as a fireman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many interesting things that I think this could actually do. I really hope for Amiibo, though.
Well, of course you do. You're Amiibo Jason.
Full line, man. Push the button.
They have... What else are they going to do this
I
year?
have no idea.
They have nothing else besides Paper Mario.
If you want to convert the Disney Infinity people, push that button. Bring them
They
over.
have to push it. They'll push it. They'll push it eventually. It's going to happen. So, we found out some of the professors' names, and for the life of me, I can't even remember what they were.
Hala.
Hala. That was one of them. Hala.
That's the one that gives you. That's the one that gives you the Pokemon.
So we have that, and again, that's based on a tree too. So really no big shock.
Nope. And that's
Pokemon
related
fans.
to Hawaii.
That is related to
It
Hawaii.
is.
It's a tree that is based in Hawaii.
Yep.
So we have the starters, we have the box art, we have the legendaries. One is based on a lion. It looks like a lot like a Digimon to me for some reason.
I said a Zoid. Do you remember Zoids?
What's a
It looks
Zoid?
like the Google, like same thing. Google image Zoid. I forget the name, the main, some line, something, but it looks like the main Zoid. It's a white tiger robot thing. It looks very similar to it.
I remember
It's an old Japanese like anime kind of thing.
was in Power Rangers. Did they use Zoids?
No, it's similar thing, but it's not a Zoid, but similar concept. Yeah.
Got it. Well, we have that. We have the lion, and then we have this bat-looking thing. Obviously, the lion is representing the sun. It's bright.
Yep.
We have the bat-looking thing.
And its head has this nice crescent moon shape, which is very reminiscent. Well, it's very perfect and complementary for Pokemon Moon.
Yeah. And then, we have this dark, ominous-looking bat creature. But again, both of these legendaries don't scream Pokemon to me.
Right.
They look like they do not belong in the series.
It's a good example of maybe like we talked about a second ago about how they're leading us into a little bit of a new territory when it comes to a lot of things, like you said, with like the vehicles and everything. So we'll be seeing probably some new things here. I think it's a good idea, though. I mean, they just released all the original games, so why not give us something brand new to kind of like contrast that?
I can see that.
And these. I mean, like we said before, how many Pokemon there are that they're running out of ideas. That these definitely seem a step above, though. Like they scream legendary to me, though.
Yeah.
On the flip side of it, so that I'm okay with the fact that they might look completely different. I'm curious how big that actually the lion is, or how big. I mean, the bat looks freaking huge, you know, and the stuff they've shown. So
I don't know the X and Y legendaries. I can't even pronounce their names.
Xerneas.
Yeah, Xerneas, and then Wyvil.
Yeah.
Wyverdal.
Yivdvel.
Yivdal.
I think it was Yivdvel.
Whatever.
the Y one.
Yeah,
The Y, X and Y, they did nothing for me, like at all. I remember seeing them. I'm like, oh, wow,
Oh.
oh wow,
Oh wow.
my
Well, look at there.
oh wow,
Oh wow.
wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I could not care less.
Yeah.
But yep, we have.
I'm super excited for the line. I was on Team Moon, even though we knew nothing about it, but I'm on Team Sun now because I like that line.
What's you over?
Like the lion.
Just the lion? That's it?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm getting both. Let's not kid ourselves.
Okay.
Of course you are.
Of course. Well, that's what you said too. You're getting both, right?
Yeah, you have to.
No,
Yeah.
I like to focus on one and get as much out of it that one as I possibly can.
Right. That's what.
How are you going to catch them all?
Yeah.
You got to catch them all.
Gotta catch them up.
It's a tagline. It's not my personal tagline.
Well, I also noticed this. If you put both box arts together, there's a moon behind the one on Moon, obviously, and there's a sun behind the sun box art. But if you put them together, they actually line up perfectly. So
Cool.
there's already rumors saying what's the top going to be, and they're thinking that's going to be the third legendary. So we know there's going to be, well, we don't know, but it's fair to assume there's going to be a third legendary Pokemon in this series as well. So I'd be curious to see what the contrast is between Sun and Moon. So maybe Earth? I don't know what that would be. I don't know what the Earth Pokemon would be.
We never got a Pokemon Z, though.
Yeah.
No, but they did have the legendary from Z, which was...
that's true.
I don't know.
It's the other thing I can't pronounce.
We're going to be getting that. We could get another legendary, that means we could possibly not get a new game.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
They're going to put Captain Planet as the legendary. Sun and Moon and Captain Planet.
I could totally see it.
Big fan.
We also know that it's coming out November 18th, 2016 in the US and Japan, and Europe gets shafted for some bizarre reason.
Australia is getting it the same day as well.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, really?
What's up with Europe?
Yeah.
I've not a clue.
Europe is getting it November 23rd. Or not, yeah, November 23rd. Okay. No idea why.
That sucks.
They get the entire game spoiled for them.
Stay away from the internet completely during that period of time.
That's the thing. It's not like it's like 2 weeks later or something where like maybe they're trying to avoid some certain date. Like it's so close. Like what's the point?
Yeah.
I'm sure not Pokemon, Nintendo of Europe has some bizarre business reason for this. So
apparently they ticked off regular like headquarter Nintendo. Nintendo's punishing them.
It's so bizarre. But either way, that's what we know so far about Pokemon Sun and Moon. We know it's coming out soon. We have our starters. We have our character customization. We have an adorable Japanese trailer that came out if you haven't seen it yet, go to the official Japanese Pokemon YouTube channel and watch the Japanese trailer. It's better than ours. Significantly better.
You said you teared up just a little bit.
I teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
I did.
That's something I do like about Japanese trailers versus US trailers. They tend to add a lot more heart to them. Even with, I think we saw some really cool holiday ones from them too, or at least some other trailers. And there's something about them that they let more heartfelt, feelings there.
Yeah, it's the stuff that like pointed out there stood out to me to it, like the weird technical stuff. There was one screen where they accidentally showed like the English version. I don't know if you call it that. Like in the rendering of the game, like it's all in Japanese, and like the kid turned it, and at one point it was like English, and it quickly switched over to Japanese. I'm like, wait, what just happened there? Like it's one of those like quick revelations. Like, did I just understand Japanese real quick? But and then that, and like I talked to Jason about it on Twitter about like those boxes there, and like the posters hanging up in the window. I keep flipping back and forth whether it was rendered in or if they actually hung that stuff up in the window and like actually have the boxes. Because, like, one angle looks like that's totally CGI. Some of the stuff real. Because, again, in the modern age, stuff leaks from any kind of weird thing to have that many people and nothing leaked is impressive. If it was really there.
Yeah. And I pointed this out on Twitter, too. There was a sign.
So good.
There was a sign in the shop, and it said, like, unattended children will be sold into slavery.
That's right. I saw that.
When you said that, I'm like, just no way. And, like, I downloaded like the HD version of the trailer, zoomed in, like, nope, that's 100% what it said.
Why would he lie about something like that?
I thought it was because I was hunting for an Amiibo logo anywhere. I freeze framed every shot of that trailer to get any kind of hint, is Amiibo coming to this game? Which I still wholeheartedly believe that Nintendo isn't stupid enough to not include Amiibo support in this game. Right. I mean, they can't be, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with being stupid. I think they just might be focusing elsewhere if they choose not to.
They have nothing else coming out this hot. Okay,
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying that based on the recent history of Nintendo and the decisions it's been making, come on. I mean, we don't understand like 75-80% of what's going on right now.
If they push the Pokemon Amiibo button, they win Holiday 2016. They win it. They don't need the NX. They don't need Zelda.
Yeah.
They win.
Like, I was talking to Josh about on Twitter for Games. I kept saying, I was like, they need to. And he's like, well, do they? I'm like, well, they don't need to, but it's one of those things, like, if you're trying to push developers, third-party support, anybody, like, hey, we need you to add an Amiibo store into the game, and you don't add it to your biggest game, why would other developers waste time if you're not going to put it in your own game? You know,
for some reason, Game Freak is, like, completely against it. Because I honestly don't know what the split is for, like, Nintendo and Game Freak. Like, if they were to make a Pokemon Amiibo, how much of that would Game Freak get? So that would be the only thing, like, that I could imagine them not doing it, if it wouldn't be profitable for them to do it. But you'd think Game Freak and Nintendo could get together and say, let's make $1 billion.
Right. And yeah, like you said, I think Game Freak is in their own corner, and they do what they do, and they don't care about what anybody else is doing, because they know that they're kicking everybody's butt.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just like, if we feel like that, we'll add it. If not, not. So who knows?
Either way, I am excited for Sun and Moon.
Indeed.
It's really the only thing I have to look forward to, except for Game of the Year, Color Splash, which is coming out in November as well, I believe. I cannot wait for Color Splash. It's going to be the best Paper Mario game to date.
Did you go get your Sonic toys yet?
No, I want that Princess Peach so badly.
I thought you said Sonic the Hedgehog toys.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Are they still out, by the way?
Did they even come out? I don't even know if they're
came out already.
We saw people tweeting them to it. Pictures.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they're announcing it coming out later. I go to Sonic like once a year when I want a half-price milkshake, but I have no idea.
Of course, you're going to go for a half-price milkshake.
It's the weirdest decision, like, business model to me. Like, everybody likes late-night milkshakes. Like, isn't that when you sell the most? Why are you always tapping them off after 8 o'clock? Who knows?
We just got into a completely new territory on the Newscast.
We need a whole segment based on this from now on.
On fast food stuff.
By Grier.
Tell you, man, I'm always thinking.
Always.
Anything else you want to point out on Pokemon Sun and Moon before we move on to our next topic?
No, I'm excited about the customer customization maybe coming back. The bigger deal of that, the better for me, so.
I completely agree. That's a huge selling point for me.
Yes,
I love that about X and Y.
And there's Amiibo support right there, tapping on and get different outfits.
Absolutely.
So,
like Splatoon.
Right.
I would like to see something with a little bit more substance in my Amiibo game.
I'm just saying. At least there's something they could do.
It's on top of everything else we already know, which I feel like we just talked about, the vehicles, we talked about the legendaries and how the direction it's going in. I think we're going to see a lot of substance in this game. For me, the cherry on top of it is character customization, because it adds that extra element of, character and personality from the user's end or the player's end. And also, to me, I feel like character customization right now should be a given in a lot of video games coming out. Right. Because that's what most video games offer these days. So if you don't include it, like the previous Pokemon game that we just saw, I believe they skipped the character customization. When you skip it like that, people don't know, well, why not? And all of a sudden, the game feels like it's lacking. It's the direction that video games are moving in. So if it doesn't include it, that it definitely feels a little lackluster in the creative and personality area.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see the cards for this, and I think they're going to have a card for every single Pokemon. If they do that, it's going to be an insanely huge task to get all of them, but not completely unheard of. I mean, for Animal Crossing cards, it's 400. So if you had double that for the Pokemon line, I could see it happening. But here's what I think they're going to do. I think you can train a Pokemon in the game. If you have the card, you can tap it on, you can transfer your Pokemon stats onto the card, and then have it interact with the Wii U version and have a Pokemon Stadium type game for the Wii U or for the NX when that comes out next year. So that's what I see happening. That's what I'm hoping we see, because I think that would be the best way to have it. But I would love the physical figures too.
Yeah.
I feel like cards are more practical. I think
there's too many Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they could definitely focus on the fan favorites, the ones that have been around for a while, but those are the ones that we already have. Those are the ones that we've already seen. So I feel like the next step is to go a completely different direction by introducing the cards.
I could see them doing a 3-pack for each of the starters. All forms of their evolution, and maybe just do the starters.
Starters would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what direction they're going to go in. But if they do the starters, what purpose would they really have? So it's all so confusing. They could possibly do it.
No, we just don't know what to anticipate, because right now Nintendo is making decisions that we don't always understand, and I think that's why we're kind of constantly on the edge of our seats, waiting to see what's happening next.
They could do one of those crazy things and put the cards in the game. But they're random ones, so you have to buy multiple copies of the game to get all the cards. So they're forcing the attachment rate to go high.
Oh my god.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Because that's completely irrelevant. Like Taylor Swift did that with her most recent CD. You had to get those photographs, and each CD was random ones, and people are buying like 20 copies of the CD to try and complete them all. I'm like, people are crazy.
I would not fall for that.
So wait, they were photographs?
They were like postcards. That was it. But
No,
That's a smart business model.
It is a very smart, but as a consumer, no way. I guess unless you're a Taylor Swift fan and you're a big collector of that stuff. I guess
it was only in the Target edition too, so you had to go to Target and get it too.
That's very smart.
So it's store exclusive.
Dude, if I could pull that off, I'd do it.
But I say what you said about customization.
Yeah.
Idea I had they should do. I can't remember what game it was. It was a non-Nintendo game, but somebody released a character customization like as a separate game before the game came out, like a month or two beforehand. So then you could just do that because like everybody else says like Anna knew like what's the game I'm looking for? BioWare's game, Dragon Age.
Yeah.
People spent like an hour and a half making their character because then we would have like the entire summer where we're not getting anything. At least we have could customize their character. It'd be fun if they're doing that, but.
I like that idea, actually.
Yeah, I do too.
So, oh well.
We do have one other Pokemon topic we can touch on before we go.
New card? Sorry.
Yeah, it is new cards, but before we get into it, I just wanted to point out that this is just one of 3 versions of the Nintendo Newscast that you can listen to. If you want to see if you can collect all 3 versions, we have a Patreon-specific one. For $20, it's completely random, so you might not get the bonus footage, but
True.
You could try.
True.
But we do have the online exclusive Pokemon Generations Elite Trainer Box coming out.
If you're talking Patreon, you got to advertise what the link is.
There you go.
Patreon.com/Nintendo Inquirer.
You're a Patreon.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
hashtag give me your money.
Oh. Well, that's really a great quality way to sell it.
Hashtag we need a capture card for 3DS.
Yes, please, we need a craft capture card.
I kind of like your Rob the Robot style, though.
Oh, dude, we actually found a way that we could get our footage streaming. You have to like pretty much soft mod your 3DS.
Sure.
But it's technically on the up and up.
Technically, if you really want to spin it that way.
If Nintendo wanted to give me, as a game journalist, an easier way to stream content from 3DS that I don't have to pay $600 and wait 2 months, then I would do it. But they're forcing me to unlock my 3DS in order to stream it.
I like that way.
I will say, too, soft mod is 100 times more interesting than any kind of hard mod. Like, mod chip stuff, that's interesting. But, like, what was the Nintendo game? What was the first one? It wasn't, like, a crossword game or something?
No, it was, Cubic Ninja.
That's right. And Amazon, like, went up and GameStop purposely increased their used price because they knew. So
insane.
good.
I think it's still going for $80 right now.
No, it's like $30 now.
Really?
Yeah.
It went down. I swear, I checked it
because
a couple weeks ago.
Ever since browser hacks came out.
Oh, okay.
You could just do it easily. But I mean, anytime they do a firmware update, then it usually goes back up in price until they find a way to hack it again.
I probably saw it right after a firmware update then.
Soft mod story real quick. Xbox One, or not, see, here we go. Original Xbox.
Yep. That's exactly what I knew was going to happen when they announced the name of that system, man.
The original Xbox, I was real late in the cycle getting it. My mom eventually agreed to let me get it when I was a kid. I'm like, oh sweet, got it and learned you could soft mod it. A week after I got it, soft modded it, like a day after that I broke it. Never told my mom. She's like, how's the Xbox? Great.
Awesome.
So good.
She never found out?
No.
Oh no.
They announced the Xbox 360 like a year and a half later and she let me get that for Christmas, so it wasn't that long, but I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. That's not good. And there it went.
I was terrified with a 3DS. Yeah. And just a heads up, folks, I don't condone piracy in any way, shape, or form. I do not use the soft mod to download bootleg games or even play emulators. The only reason I did it was so I could stream my 3DS games. Yeah. But yeah, I was terrified. It took me 3 weeks to go through the entire process because I was so scared. Right. And then when it finally worked, I was shocked.
Yeah.
But it's very, very cool. But hopefully the next handheld they come out with, they'll give people a better way of streaming their content. And the fact that hackers could figure out a way to allow you to stream your 3DS footage to your computer wirelessly, Nintendo could do it so easily. They could just give game developers and they could give it to gaming journalists as a way to do this. So
I'm so thankful they're smart. So thankful there's smart people out there.
Well, the fact is, I mean, we get review copies, and sometimes in the instructions it says you can stream this game on a 3DS game.
Yep.
Like, you can stream this game. So they obviously know people are, like, physically modifying their hardware to be able to stream this stuff.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't get it. Do you get it?
I do not get it.
We don't get it.
What are you gonna do?
Pokemon Generations Elite Trainer card box.
Oh, yes.
Grier, you beat us to the tweet by, like, 10 minutes.
Ooh, you're so good,
And did
Grier.
you see who beat me?
Ooh.
Shopkins Inquirer. And then
No, really?
Shopkins Inquirer said, look, they
Oh, wait, no.
did move after that.
Oh.
They beat me to the Tsum Tsum magazine, I think.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was. Jerk what?
How did it feel when?
I told him I sneezed, and that's what they gave him the extra boost.
Do you know what they said to him?
What?
They said, "Oh, Jason Grier, I beat you to the news. What are you, Amiibo News?"
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh! Oh, how did you take that?
I think I swore under my breath.
Don't come out to you, man.
Sounds
Don't come out to you.
I still think you're Shopkins Inquirer.
I wish you had this double identity. It's this like weird superhero thing where you just have a double identity on Twitter.
I like to think I'm a funny person, but I feel like they're funnier than I could ever. Like, I wish I was them.
I'm still hoping that this person reveals himself.
Our audience probably has no idea what we're talking about,
Yeah.
but
Well, no, we mention it I believe every single time we have some type of newscast with
that's
Grier.
true.
So by now they should.
Do you see, like, Moose Toys is involved with it now, too? Like, the shop company?
I did not see that.
It's getting too much. Like, someone tweeted something about Shopkins being, like, a parody account, and Moose Toys tweeted, like, what? It's a parody account? It's like the gif of that monkey, like, chucking their laptop. And I'm like, this is getting too much for me. But
I never thought it would go this far and in that direction.
Yeah.
We're in the thick of the Toys to Life community,
Yes.
aren't we?
Yeah.
You guys more than anybody. You're grassrooting it.
Good fun.
All right,
yeah.
so what do we got? We got this Pokemon Generations Elite Trainer card box set.
Right. And I'm excited because have you finished the Generation set at all? Like, how close are you?
I'm not even close.
Yeah, I'm a little bit above halfway, I think.
I think I'm done. I think I'm going to buy this box, and then I'm done. I can't justify it anymore.
You're not going to get the rest to finish them out?
I didn't even pick up the Darkrai box set.
I picked it up, and it's here in the room somewhere. I haven't opened it yet. But
Well, I don't care about Darkrai.
yeah, I don't either.
It's like my least favorite out of all of them.
Good thing we have that plush.
But I think Shaman, is it Shaman or Shaman?
Shaman.
Yeah.
It's Shaman. It looks like Shaman.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I think Shaman comes next. I think there's a plush that Toys R Us is getting of Shaman. But in this box set, it comes with like this limited edition full art Shaman card.
No.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I saw the plush. I've been admiring the plush because the plush is one of my very favorites.
Oh, it's not full art, by the way. It's just hollow, but you can see it right here.
Yeah, I do see it.
Yeah, so it's if you don't know, it's a box set there, available exclusively only at PokemonCenter.com, which I think is pretty interesting. I don't know if they've exclusively done an online Pokemon card set before. I haven't
seen it.
So it starts July 1st and only through September 1st. And I guess probably maybe while supplies last too, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, so you get never before seen foil promo card featuring Shaman X, 10 Pokemon trading card game, Generations booster packs, 65 black and gold sleeves featuring
Which
the
are
Pokemon.
beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, 20th
So
anniversary logo. Nice little accent there. I'm glad they kept the red cheeks.
Yeah.
45 Pokemon TCG energy cards with a new look. A player's guide to generation expansion. 6 damage, counter dice. One competition legal coin flip die.
Oh, it would have been better if it's illegal.
Yeah, those good old illegal coins. 2 acrylic condition markers, a collector's box to hold everything, with 4 dividers to keep it organized, and 1 code card for the Pokemon trading card game online, which I presume is probably some like mega thing. Like you probably get a bunch with it, not just because don't those you typically don't the Generations boxes you get like 3 packs with those codes?
You get 3.
Yeah, so I assume you're going to get the whole 10 packs with them.
That's a long list of items, by the way.
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, the fact that you even get 65 sleeves is awesome, and like I said, the design is beautiful.
It's the same kind of like trainer box that we just picked up with the Mega Alakazam one that we
We
got.
didn't get the sleeves though.
Yeah, we got sleeves.
I don't even.
They weren't like that. We got
I
sleeves.
didn't think so. Okay, well maybe I'm just mesmerized by the beauty of these sleeves.
I know you read that off, by the way, but I'd like to pretend like you had that entire thing memorized.
Yes, memorized. Because you're just that fantastic, Grier.
I'll do it again. Did they announce price on there? I don't know if they did.
No.
It wasn't. I don't think they did.
I'm guessing $40.
Yeah.
They hover around 40.
Yeah, it's about the same. It's the exact same content, right? In the purple one,
Yeah, that was $40.
Yeah, there was nothing different between.
The only difference is this one comes with a Shaman card, and the other one didn't come with any promo card.
That's
which
minimal.
bummed me out, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that big, they need to put something exclusive in there.
But I'm telling you, the Generations have such good cards.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first box that we got, it felt like every other pull we were getting, like, EX cards.
Yep.
We had 2 EX cards and one booster pack.
Yeah. In the very first one we opened, I think.
I went 0 for 3. First 3 packs, first box I got.
Crazy.
Because I opened it, like, immediately after you put your, like, unboxing video up. I was like, oh, yeah, here we go. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Was that the one where I pulled the Charizard?
Yeah.
Charizard EX?
Yep. Still have not pulled that card yet. Now I've opened however many packs I've opened.
I'm mad because I got the, what is that new series that just came out? The one with the Mega Alakazam on it.
Yeah, the one that you want the Mew in?
Yeah, there's a Mew card that everybody's pulling left and right, and I bought that entire box set in probably 10 or 12 booster packs, and I have not got the Mew.
Fates Collide, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to meet somebody tomorrow who's trading me for the Mew, so I'm very happy.
Very, very nice. I'm happy.
Which I forgot. It's actually pretty early. I got to go to bed soon.
Dude, I'm Generations. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, Generations, I thought was going to be my gateway back into, like, the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah.
But it's been, like, the set's cool and everything, but it wasn't, like people thought it was going to be, like, the reprint, like, the Japanese set was getting and everything. But still fun, but I'm still slowly getting into it. Like I said, somebody, I have it here, actually. Let me move my camera here. A reader, a follower about some Toys for Games was mad. I kept talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And he wanted me to get into Pokemon. Yeah. So he sent me, he sent me like this beach ball and a hat, and it sent me all these cards. And packs, like he's determined to get me into it. And now I'm like full blown into it. And so the local card place near me, has tournaments each Saturday. And it is like they do, like I think it's Magic at like 12 o'clock and then like Yu-Gi-Oh! At 2 and Pokemon at 4. Like they do everything each Saturday. So I think I'll eventually do a doubleheader with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon tournaments.
So you know how to play the trading card game?
Oh yeah. I play the app like every day.
Got it. Okay.
I have no idea how to play.
I was going to say, because most people I know who collect are very passionate about Pokemon, they're passionate about the cards and collecting them, but they really don't know how to play the game.
I'm horrendous at it, and I'm not good at deck building. Like, I have to have somebody give me a deck, and I can go with it.
Yeah.
But, and I can modify it. When people can, like, make it from scratch, no chance. But I'm fairly good against computers. When I go online, it's 50-50. I either get wrecked or I somehow win.
I'll have to keep that in mind. You're going to have to train me once we go to E3.
Right.
We'll do it. So
there we go. We have that coming up, too. So we have a decent amount of Pokemon news.
Yes.
So I do want to touch on this before we get going, because we don't do 2.5-hour podcasts like you do, by the way.
Yeah.
We try to hover around an hour, which is about your intro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's true.
I did want to touch base on the Disney Infinity news that we got, which is, I feel like I have to like lower my voice a little bit when we talk about this because it's so sad.
Did you see that? Did you see that fallen look on Grier's face?
I know, I did see it. So
screen cap.
If you guys are listening to this podcast, I highly recommend you watch it on YouTube so you can see the sadness in everybody's face right now.
Very sad.
But believe it or not, I did own some Infinity figures, but not many. I was not the biggest Infinity fan, and I've given Mr. Grier lots of crap about Disney Infinity in the past, but I have mentioned this every time I went down the Toys to Life aisle.
Yeah.
Infinity had the best looking Toys to Life figures, hands down.
Yeah.
They were well made. They were just solid.
And they were just well made. They were the designs on them were so crisp.
They look great.
They're beautiful. I say this about a lot of things, but it definitely applies to Disney Infinity especially. They're like small art pieces.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And if I was really into them, I wish I was into them because I would love to collect them, but I was really sad. When you told me that, I was heartbroken, and I'm not even an Infinity collector.
Well, the next time I go to the store, I'm picking up the Tron figures, for sure, because I've always wanted to pick those up. But yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking, especially now that we kind of have a better idea, because the news broke today about what 4.0 could have been, the Rogue One set that they were talking about, too. I would have picked up the Rogue One set, by the way. But yeah, it's bizarre. It really blows my mind, because everything that I saw, it seems like it was doing really well.
I assumed. I mean, it has a large fan following. Grier, maybe you can give us a little bit of insight from your perspective.
Yeah, so it's been a day we've been waiting for, and we've talked about for a while. The Toys Life bubble is going to pop. At some point, it's going to pop. I thought it was going to pop next year, so it's a little bit ahead of course than what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, from a sales point, they don't compare them with Amiibo or anything like that, just because none of the like Disney Fantasy Sky, they don't release their just figure numbers, whereas Amiibo does. It's like comparing apples to oranges. It really is. Amiibo versus what Disney Infinity and everything else does. But from the main three over there with Skylanders, Amiibo, and Disney Infinity like literally crushed them last year. They even beat them the year before that, but last year wasn't even close. It was like $1 billion. They talked about $1 billion franchise in March. They've had $1 billion in sales and everything. And that's Disney was staying behind them and everything. And then all of a sudden this news broke. When Disney Infinity 2.0, I think, came out. Might have been 3.0. It was the first time Disney Interactive posted a positive quarter in like 10 years or some long time. So in of course, like 10 years, they still lost even after like $1.5 billion. So it hasn't gotten to where they want to be. Disney realized they could make more money licensing it out. Like Battlefront was crushing it with sales, and all they had to do was sign off a piece of contract and saying, yeah, you can use our stuff. Whereas,
so I always assumed that franchise was a failure.
Battlefront?
Yeah.
It was a failure from like reviews and stuff like that, but people still bought the crap out of it.
That's crazy.
So,
the figures were huge though, so.
No, Battlefront I'm talking about, Battlefront. And then Disney Infinity, it was like I said, it was huge sales on that. And it seemed to be going forward. But the thing that Disney does really well, and this is how they got to where they at, this decision to shut this down, as I tell people, and this is me reading and everything, this wasn't a next year decision, this wasn't a 2-year decision, this was them looking 5, 7, 10 years down the line, and they can see it's dipping. Toys of Life is the whole entire genre, even including Amiibo, is dipping. It's already peaked. Last year it's peaked, and it's all downhill from now. So it's them looking at it and saying, hey, we might as well get out now. It's a shame though, because we knew stuff was coming. It wasn't like, hey, 3.0 is going to be it. Like they announced that last August, so enjoy it while we have it. Yeah. It's like, here's it. Stuff's coming out in 4 weeks, and then that's it. Like we didn't have much of a wind down. So yeah, it's a huge bummer. We're still getting some Alice figures here in 2 weeks, and Finding Dory figures, in middle of June, and that's it. But it's one of those, like, there's a lot of like heartbreaking parts of it all. That they had, that Disney, to speak mostly about Disney, which some people might this bad, but it's a fact. Disney cared more about the community than any other Toys of Life franchise. That's not even up for an argument. We had the Toy Box Summit every year where they invited top designers in to do stuff. There was fan feedback polls. There's other stuff. There wasn't the sham that the Smash Brothers vote was, let's be honest. Please, they knew Bayonetta was going to win from day one.
Yes,
Did it as it was 100% marketing. 100% marketing.
Bayonetta, baby.
Absolutely.
So they do all this fun stuff. They have events. They have movie events where they had Disney Infinity team members across the country at 7 different cities when they had Zootopia premieres.
Yeah.
Gave away toys, like all the different stuff. So anyways, last year they had the artist got to vote on a character, and that character was going to come into the game, and they voted for Peter Pan, and it was this whole huge thing. It was the first thing. It's going to be a special box. It's supposed to come out in August, and it's never going to come out. They haven't even released what it's going to look like. It got approved. The Toy Box Master Artist, as far as I know, saw what the design was. So it's kind of one of those like punch in the gut, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like that Disney, again, it was Disney signed to do it. It's not Disney Infinity. And they had a bunch of cool stuff coming up from 4.0 that was leaked out today. So it's sad. It's sad for Toys of Life in general, even if you weren't a Disney Infinity fan. Like that's like some people are like, oh, it's great because of this. No, it's bad for the industry. It really is. There's stuff to gain. Like my opinion, Lego Dimensions has the most to gain from this. Absolutely. But I mean, we'll see. But it's definitely a sad day, sad week. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, I know one of the first things I said to you was I'd be curious to see if Disney's going to license out their characters to Lego Dimensions. They could even do it with Amiibo. I mean, we've seen third-party Amiibo characters come out in the past, and so, I mean, it's not crazy to think.
Right.
We could see, like, if Kingdom Hearts 3 for some reason ends up making its way over to the NX, which, cross your fingers, I'm thinking it's going to.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if we saw some Kingdom Hearts series Amiibo, but I think there'd be a lot more... probably I'd say it's a lot more likely to see it going over the Lego Dimensions side.
Yeah. Star Wars, I think it's going to be a lock next year with Star Wars 8 coming out. There's no way, again, for Disney Infinity, for Disney, who loves money more than anybody else, you know, they again with doing the licensing, what do they have to lose now? The argument was before they want to hurt them. They don't have anything to lose except for $1 bajillion, for signing over. Marvel, I don't see going over because they have WB owns DC. DC is a big part of the game. Yeah. If Marvel couldn't even get along with Disney, which there's a whole huge debate about the story beyond that, which we don't have time to talk about. Marvel's infighting with Disney inside Disney Infinity. There's no way they're going to let them be on the same page as DC Comics. And then Disney, obviously, some Disney like Pirates of the Caribbean Lego games. There's some possibility there, but I hope Star Wars at least goes over because that could complete the full cycle of everybody working with everybody, kind of a thing. Because again, with the rumor even of Sonic going into Lego Dimensions this year, that if Star Wars goes over, then there's been at least one hand holding throughout all the franchises. So it'd definitely be interesting.
So I'm curious to hear your opinion on this too, because you said that the bubble burst. Yeah. Who do you think's next to go out?
All along, going after 2.0, I thought Disney was the first one out. Then once 3.0 came out, theirs rocked. Lego Dimensions didn't hit sales numbers, but now that they're realizing they priced it way too high for everything, it's selling a lot better now. I still think they have the most to gain. So I think Skylanders is the next one out. Amiibo, again, up to this point, I think it's fair to say they haven't really done much. They've definitely done some stuff. So really people are buying them for the collectioning purpose. People say they use it for the game. Okay, that's fine. So they are doing what everybody hoping Disney was going to continue with the stuff, is just keep making these characters in the art founders, release them in the toy aisle. People would still buy them. So Amiibo, as long as people are buying them, they're not going anywhere because it's low cost for them because they only have to worry about making a game per se for them to add a couple of skins, add some power-ups, whatever you want to do, and keep on going. So I think Skylanders is next, but Activision has a lot of money. They're putting a TV show out this fall. There's a lot there. As far as Lego Dimensions, though, they can keep on going because there's no productions cost to it. It's just another Lego game, which sells everything, and they're just Lego pieces, which they're already making. So it's just a different painting. So it's not costing them to make new molds like it does for Amiibo, Skylanders, or Disney Infinity. And again, their best opportunity they have is being able to pull in any franchise they can care for. I mean, they pulled in Portal, Doctor Who. I mean, if anybody wants extra money, hey, call Lego up. They'll be happy to work with you. So they could theoretically go on forever as well. So
I think what Amiibo has going for it, unlike any of the other franchises at this point, is that you have multiple games that you can bring it into. I mean, no matter what. True. I mean, on your 3DS. I mean, I know that we had Skylanders on 3DS too, but it was not practical to take that Portal with you anywhere.
I still think the one thing working against Amiibo right now is, sure, the collectability is a huge selling point for a lot of people, but that's not what Nintendo was aiming for. Nintendo stated it on several occasions that it's aiming for functionality. But functionality isn't even the greatest part about Amiibo at this point. I don't think that Nintendo has pushed Amiibo as far as it could go. So I think right now, within the next couple of months, we have it's to me, this kind of determines the direction that Amiibo is going to be heading in. It'll do really well if Nintendo pushes that functionality a little bit more and increases the functionality more in ways that we actually want to see. But if it doesn't within the next couple of months, I actually see it falling a lot. And it's just going to fall into the shadows.
I think Nintendo needs to embrace the collecting.
Yes,
they just need to agree. They need to make chase variants. They need to, I mean, Skylander's been doing that anyway. Yep. They need to make things rare. They need to make exclusive figures. I mean, not even just the retail exclusive, because who gives a crap about that anymore? I mean, maybe that it was interesting when it was impossible to find Ness. Yeah. But now, I mean, I think that Roy, I think Roy just sold out on GameStop.com after like 2.5 months being up. So, I mean, it's not difficult to get these things anymore, but I mean, I think Nintendo needs to realize that, yes, the hunt wasn't necessarily the best, but it made the hype levels just go through the roof. Yeah. And it's not as fun collecting Amiibo anymore. Nope. It's not as fun going out, picking them up on launch day when there's not a huge line outside. I mean, that was half the fun, just like hanging out with all the fans. But
Nintendo just doesn't seem like the type of company to embrace the collectability. I feel like it's going to stick to its... Let's take advantage. Let's get people hyped up about the functionality. Yeah. And I cannot see it completely changing size and, like I said, embrace that collectability.
The functionality is not just, it's just not that great.
It's not great. It's not great.
What's in Smash Bros?
Yeah.
What they should do is what Skylanders did. They didn't really do it this year. They did it last year really well. They actually did two things last year really well. One, they offered a Skylanders called Gear Shift as a pre-order exclusive. but it was and they were upfront about it, that it was pre-exclusive, but it's gonna come later in the year.
Yeah.
So if you pre-order the thing, you got it first, and then some stores got, like, because again, they're not shipping just that number, they shipped a box of however many, so if there's more than pre-orders, you could get it. And then what they did at launch, too, is one called Wallop, and it was one per box. So a box of, like, 8, there was so many others, and then there was one Wallop. So that was the rare one. Everybody knowing it's coming out later down the line, but it's so exciting to keep trying to find it. And I couldn't find it for the longest time. I finally found one in a Walmart, and it was like, there's like 8 Skylanders on the shelf, and like people were looking at different ones. I don't want to be like that guy, because like, it was like small kids looking around. And so I'm like, I wait till like clear, and I just grabbed that sucker and like ran.
Oh, man.
You know? So they did stuff like that. It's fair to the Amiibo community. Like, again, not make it that nobody can get it, but then give that little bit of the thrill of the hunt, because everybody wants it first. I mean, there's some people who could care less, but, I mean, it gives that little extra thing that make it like, hey, it's available in limited numbers for this time, and it's going to come out later. It's hard to, like, market it, PR. Eventually, it's one of those things you just have to get used to it, them doing it, but who knows?
I honestly think 2017 is going to be a completely new ballpark for Amiibo. I think we're going to see new things. I think the NX is going to bring it in new directions. So I don't see Nintendo dialing back on Amiibo anytime soon, but they got to do something. I mean, with the Kirby series Amiibo that I just imported from Japan, it was lame. I mean, it was King DDD and Meta Knight. I mean, they look almost identical to their Smash Bros. Figures.
They're reprints. They're just reprints. That's what they are.
So I mean, they're in slightly different poses, but even DDD's pose is pretty darn close.
Yeah.
So if you were to put them on a table 25 feet away, I would have a very difficult time telling you which one was which. Yeah. So,
dude, the news came out today that Disney Infinity was going to make 12-inch figures. Do that, Amiibo.
Yeah.
Mega Yarn Yoshi was a hit. I will say, at
though. Jeez.
$45. Abdallah's panel we went to for PAX.
Yeah.
He went around and asked everybody in there what their favorite Amiibo was. Guess what the number 1 was?
Was it Mega Yarn?
Mega Yarn Yoshi.
Of course, because it stood out among all the others. And like
I said, it's so funny because all these people, again, it's like the vocal minority. People are like, this is dumb. Why is it going to do it? And it was a huge hit. Huge hit.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it has 2 things going for it. It's bigger than any other Amiibo, and it's made out of yarn. I mean, you can find those 2 things. It stands out among all the toys. And it stands out not just among Amiibo, but among all Nintendo toys.
Yeah, I got one for my 3-year-old daughter, and she loves it.
It
goes to bed with her every night.
It appeals to all ages. I mean, kids and adults love this thing, and it's cute, and it's almost practical because you can actually use it for a game at the same time.
Right.
It's great.
All right, so now that we have that done, I mean, it's sad on every level. Jason, do you have anything else that you'd like to say about that you haven't already said? I mean, I've listened to your podcast, by the way, pretty much about Disney Infinity completely. So I'm really curious if you have any final thoughts before we move on to our speed round.
No, I mean, it's the same thing, like, don't take anything for granted, but enjoy while everything's here. We're 100% in the golden age of all Toys Life brands. So if you're enjoying Amiibo, enjoy it now. It's not going to get any better than, I don't say get any better, but it's as big as it's going to be right now. So it's across the board there. So again, enjoy it. Get stuff while it's there. We don't really know what's going to happen with it. So if you like any Disney Infinity figures, if this goes up this week, it's your podcast, next week at Best Buy, everything's $5 off, and then you get 20% off of that. If you have Gamers Club Unlocked, it's an easy way to get them for cheap. So go ahead and get everything you got there, because who knows what it's going to be.
So I'm going to go pick up my Tron figures this weekend.
Good idea.
Yeah. I'm going crazy and importing a full set, buy them all again and keeping them in boxes, because the European sets have an artwork behind each one.
Oh, really?
The US releases is like all a purple background. I'll have to send you the pictures for the Tron ones. They have like a picture of like the Tron world behind it. It's
nice.
It's really cool. It does look better in the US when they're all one color. Yeah. It looks like uniform. In the UK, it looks like someone just barfed up a bunch of stuff. So I understand, but it looks cool singularly, but when you put like all of them against it's too much. But I'll show you those pictures. You might want to pick those up too.
Well, thank you. All right, now it's time to move on to everybody's favorite segment, the Nintendo News Speed Round. I got a second chance to go back and say it right.
You really
Even
did.
though you folks now know I probably messed up on the first take. I called it the Amiibo News Speed Round. I don't know why I'm telling you that.
It's a habit.
But I just did.
Go ahead, let's go.
Being open and honest.
All right, on Twitter today, we asked if you had any questions for myself, Lauren, and our co-host of the day, Jason number 2, Jason Grier, from the Toys for Games cast. So we had quite a few questions circulating, not necessarily just on Pokemon, but some other Nintendo topics as well.
Yep.
So we have our first question from, how do you pronounce that?
That's Micah.
Micah Davis.
Yep.
Do you hate
Poplio.
Poplio?
Poplio.
Typical. You said it earlier just fine.
It's Poplio to
It says, let me read this. It says, do you hate Poplio? And if not, why?
I hate Poplio
And could you please state why?
because it's not Poplio.
Okay, Grier, your turn.
I don't like clowns.
That's unacceptable.
I don't like clowns.
Okay, I can understand
That's
that.
fair. It's not Trubbish, so if anything's better than that.
That's
But I'll withhold judgment until we see all three. But I think it's going to get worse every single evolution. It's going to get to the point it's going to have like a seal like necklace thing. It's going to be a full clown. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Well, I hate Poplio because it's not Rowlet.
Rowlet's the best. Team
That
Rowlet.
Rowlet is by far the best. How could you not love Rowlet the most? So Poplio is not Rowlet, therefore it is inferior.
I think he typoed on his tweet. I think he meant to say, is Poplio a bad Pokemon or the worst Pokemon?
Oh.
It's the worst.
It is the worst.
I think I have to say it's the worst starter in recent memory.
Correct. Agreed.
Poor Poplio.
Let's move on.
Poor Poplio.
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 Oh, I like that. It's fancy.
So we have Artistic Doodle. How likely do you think we'll see some crossover with other Nintendo games that took inspiration from Hawaii? So they're saying Super Mario Sunshine and Splatoon. I say it's not going to happen at all. I don't think we're going to see any crossover whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree.
Game Freak does their own thing.
Game Freak is apparently notorious for being kind of difficult to work with.
Why would they not be, man? They're king of everything.
Pocket Card Jockey rocks too, by the way. A
Did you see
very
our
interesting
review?
Game Freak
We gave it
game.
very high score.
It's such a weird game to come out from Game Freak.
What was the other one that came out recently that was really weird?
I can't remember. That Game Freak did?
Yeah, what was the other one? Tembo the Badass Elephant.
Oh, I did not even hear about that one. Is that really a thing?
What console did that come out on?
It is...
Wii U?
No, it's published by Sega, and it's out on Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Oh.
Wait. Game Freak did a Xbox One and PS4 game?
Yeah, July 21st, 2015.
That's crazy.
Metacritic 69 for PC, 71 for PS4, and 70 for Xbox One.
I just want to point out this, though, too. It's the first time I've ever heard you swear.
Yes. Oh.
Ever.
It's a quote in the thing. I've told you that before.
That's fine. I just never heard it.
Still counts.
So,
yeah.
I just saw the Great White Buffalo.
You've changed our lives forever.
Thank you, Grier.
I'd do it again.
You said that.
I gotta pick that game up now. What's it called again?
Tembo the Bad Butt Elephant.
Oh! You just said anything. You should have made him say it again.
Oh, man. All right, we have different kind of geek. Do you think there will be a big change to the Pokemon formula in Sun and Moon? And if so, what? Possibly with Amiibo. We might see some sort of Amiibo card functionality.
I don't know to the whole formula, though. I think
they won't.
It's basically going to be the same. You can't change the formula of it, but it'll definitely have different features, I think, that are going to make it stand out among other games in the franchise.
I think driving is going to be the only thing that's going to change things drastically, but I think the battle system is going to remain tried and true.
Yeah, see, what can they change? We already have dual and quad battles and everything, so I don't know what else they can add in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Do you want to read this one from Callum Buddy?
Sure. From Callum Buddy. This person says, seeing as Alola is based on Hawaii, what kinds of Pokemon do you expect from this region?
Tropical Pokemon?
I was going to say tropical Pokemon.
Crabs?
Sure, yeah. More like water type Pokemon. I mean, and plant life. I can actually see plant life too. You know, because it's known for the greenery, the lush and flowery surroundings.
Yeah, I'd agree.
What do you think? Yeah,
that's what I'd say. Okay. I was thinking before this. Evan, different kind of geek. One of the big supporters for our stuff. I don't know if you noticed that, but Skylanders have that exclusive kids meal thing.
Yeah.
With go on his YouTube channel, Evan, different kind of geek. He reviews it, and it's one of the funniest videos you ever watch. He tries to take this thing super seriously in a joking manner.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Go watch it.
I'll take care of that tonight.
Okay.
I'll give it a watch.
It's good fun.
All right, let's do one more.
One more.
All right, do you think that ordinary evolutions for old Pokemon will return like in Gen 4?
And who is this from?
This is from Blackstar.
Okay.
I don't even know. What does that mean?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Do you think that ordinary evolutions for old Pokemon will return like in Gen 4?
So in Gen 4, did ordinary evolutions for...
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, let's move
I probably
on.
should have...
Yeah, that...
Black Star, if you
you
could...
usually screen the comments
I
before
should
you
have,
read them.
but I didn't. Not this time. Let's do this. Let's go to... Knowing it's on Hawaii with possibly multiple island travel, do you think that the game is going to go back to Kanto for its anniversary? I think it could happen. I think that once they announce that Red, Blue, and Yellow have like Pokemon box support and that you can move them over to Sun and Moon, I think that's kind of a hint that we could see something with Kanto.
Okay.
So,
cool.
I think I figured out what they meant.
Okay.
I think they're talking about will we see Pokemon from like Gen 1 or Gen 2 get new evolutions in this game, I think is what he means.
Maybe
what they mean.
Mega.
You know what I
The
mean?
only thing I can imagine we could see new Mega Evolutions. I know we'll see new Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
They won't stop with that.
Yeah.
Stop
Mega
that.
Raichu would be my boy.
What if it was hideous?
It wouldn't be hideous.
Just because it's related to Raichu.
They could never make it
So
hideous.
what you're saying is that you love Pichu too.
No.
You love Pichu because you love Raichu. That's what you're saying.
Pichu's a shameless cash grab.
So is Raichu.
Raichu is not. Raichu's an original one.
Yeah. Original.
So just because wait,
It's
so
OG.
you're saying that all the Pokemon released after the 150 aren't even worth it?
No,
They're
no.
not even worth
151!
151. Not baby Pokemon. Like the
Oh,
baby
come
Jigglypuff
on.
and the baby Pikachu were shameless cash grabs.
I agree.
It was so lame. And how can you tell me Professor Oak didn't know there was baby Pikachus when he had the original Pokedex? How did that slip out of the original Pokedex? Huh? Baby, it's a baby Pikachu. How have they never seen one?
Where did the babies come from, Lauren? Where did the babies come from?
Do you even know?
Okay, now I'm. This is going in a direction I don't want to go.
Did you ever hear the rumor that Professor Oak was just sending kids on Pokemon adventures so he could like sleep with all the moms? Because nobody had moms in the game. Gary didn't have a mom. No, dads. Excuse me.
I was going to say, what?
They all had moms.
The dads weren't there.
Yes.
So Professor Oak's
They were
like,
all the way-
go
is there-
find these 150 animals
Is
and
there like
leave.
Is there like a great war going on and they all have to go off to war and that's what left all the moms there maybe? That's the only reason I can imagine there would be no male fatherly figure.
It could be.
Or got kidnapped Mount Moon.
I think it could be that maybe there was some sort of nuclear explosion
And that's what created
And
the
it-
world of Pokemon.
and it created like
we have to start some type of fan fiction.
I'm sure it's already been done.
Yeah, probably.
Everything I've said.
That's been done.
There's not an original thought left in the internet age.
Nope.
True.
Except for the new Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. See those? That's an original.
No.
That's genius.
What is
They are taking Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and filling them with Reese's Pieces.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Right?
This is another segment that we have to add on.
We'll add this on too.
Grier.
Candy talk.
Back to the original question, though. I hope I do hope you go to Kantos, though. I hope, since it's a big year, I hope they do something special, like with the 20th anniversary, some kind of special something. But
I feel like they're going to. They have to. They've been celebrating Pokemon all year. I think they're going to keep going with it, and they'll add something special because of that.
they do an NX exclusive version. That's a Kantos version. You go back and forth.
Yeah. I'll believe that when I see it. That makes too good a business sense for it to actually happen.
Ah, true.
All right, that's it. That's where we're going to leave the speed round tonight. Jason Grier, before you go, if you could just tell the good folks at home where they can find you.
Yeah, you can follow me personally on Twitter, twitter.com/JasonInquires. It's also my YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope name. And then obviously you can also listen to me each week over at Toys for Games, available on iTunes, Stitcher, or just toysforgames.com, where we talk all toys of life. And a bunch of other random stuff. And like Jason says, get ready. It's a long podcast every single week. We just like to talk. So
Very good, though.
But it's extremely entertaining. I love hearing you guys talk.
Yeah,
I love going on your show so we can talk with you guys.
the goal of it is that there's a lot of negativity out there. And so we do call stuff out that we think is bad, but we always rebound it with stuff that's happy. So as devastated as I was this week, we still trying to make a funny an uplifting episode. So if you're tired of all the negativity out there on the internet for video games, hope you come give it a shot. We're a safe, family-friendly, supporting place. So if you enjoy toys and you're an adult and you're like, this is weird, come there. We appreciate you there.
And you can donate $5 and get a pin.
That's right. Sweet pins.
Which I have. What do I have to donate to get a shout out on your show? What's that going to cost me?
You get shout outs on their show for free.
No, but
every time.
You have to be a sponsor.
If I sponsor you, do I get to like write something that you have to say on air?
As long as it's approval.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's
most anything that's not like cursing.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And I think
what's the bottom dollar for that one?
25.
25. Okay, I can shake that.
You're sponsor of, and I don't know what's left to be sponsored because it might be the voicemail section. We just started a voicemail section, so maybe that's what's.
Oh yeah, I know. I left a voicemail.
That's right, you did.
You need to play that, by the way.
Yeah.
I did. I played in that 2 episodes ago.
You missed that? I want to hear that.
I'm gonna go back and listen to it.
I want to hear that portion of it.
Yeah. But yeah. So because we have 6 to 7 filled so far.
All right. I better hurry.
You better hurry.
All right, I'm on it.
Yeah.
All right. Lauren, what about you? Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter @Happily_Candied, and my personal website is also linked in my description there. You can find my sugary corner of the world at www.happily_candied.com.
What about craftingwithlauren.com? Is that available yet?
That's not a thing, really. That's something you created.
Nah.
Nah, man, nah. But we did receive some really great art for Crafting with Lauren based on our previous newscast, and that was done very nicely. That was tweeted. I retweeted it over on my personal account. So go to @Happily_Candied on Twitter, and you'll see this really great piece of Crafting with Lauren art.
Very true.
Was that the logo?
It was the logo.
I think that was really well done.
It was very well. It was very representative, I think, of everything that we were trying to get across in that newscast. And how about you, Jason? Where can we find you?
You can find me at NintendoInquirer.com, on Twitter @Amiibo News, @NintendoINQ, and @AmiiboJason if you want to see my dysfunctional life.
Dysfunctional?
Yeah, it's quite dysfunctional. So that's where you can find me personally.
Okay.
So, and we also have Toys Inquirer,
Yes.
possibly PlayStation Inquirer at some point.
Possibly.
We'll talk about it.
Well, okay. Sounds good. And how about did we talk about Amiibo News and Nintendo Inquirer?
Yeah, we did. You missed it.
I'm zoning.
You zoned out.
I'm
It's
zoning.
late.
It is very late. I'm very tired.
It's 12 o'clock.
That's 11
Grier,
o'clock here.
come on. It's my bedtime.
All right, folks, that's it for episode 5 of the Amiibo Newscast. We'll be back. Oh my god, I said Amiibo Newscast.
Oh,
Jeez Louise.
jeez, the worries.
Let's go back. That'll do it for episode 5 of the Nintendo Newscast. I am one of your hosts who's very tired. We'll leave it there.
Yep.
Have a good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on when you're listening to this, and we'll see you later.
Stay fresh.
Bye.